Respected Mr. Padmana Bhaiya, Mr. C.D. Ara, members of the distinguished audience. The current focus on skills, both at the national level and at the state government level, is like never been before. These are really very, very historical times, and if we are able to seize this opportunity, we will be, as everyone knows, we'll be ensuring that the demographic dividend that we have, that really materializes in the form of increased productivity, better opportunities to young people, eventually leading in better quality of life for the people. So as has been pointed out, we have the national mandate on Skill India. Institutions have been set up, NSDC is there, sector skill councils are there. Different states are embarking on their own programs. We learned about Kerala, we learned about Andhra Pradesh. I really don't want to share what we do in Telangana, but we also, we are also quite up there. But what I wanted to raise more appropriately in this platform before this audience are some general issues. Now, there are, skilling, while there is a renewed emphasis and thrust nowadays, but it is a fact that skilling has been focused on for the last decade or so, even earlier, through a variety of programs. In the combined state of Andhra Pradesh, we had a few programs which focused on training young people for various kind of jobs under various names. There was a Government of India scheme many years ago called TRISEM, which also had a very strong focus on training. Now, all these programs have yielded very suboptimal results. If you look at TRISEM, if you look at some of the schemes in the combined state of Andhra Pradesh, with which I am acquainted with, and there are a number of reasons why these kind of things happen. And if the new generation of skilling programs don't really take care of these deficiencies, these anomalies, then we'll be really missing the opportunity. As I said, we'll be proclaiming that we are spending so much of time and effort and energies in skilling, but eventually without really making any meaningful kind of an impact. So some of these deficiencies, which since many of you are involved in this sector of skilling, training, etc., one of them was extremely disproportionate stress on placements. In the past we have schemes in which that unless you place a person in a job, you won't be given your kind of stipend or your remuneration or whatever, which led to its own, people started gaming the system of showing that they are placing everyone, when in reality no one was getting placed. Lots of effort was, in fact, people who were administering these training programs, I know some of them, they are my colleagues in the service. Half of their time was only spent on policing these training institutions, just partnering the training institutions to find out, are they really running training programs, or is a big scam going on all over. So, lots of deficiencies have been seen. And in Telangana, when we have designed, when we have taken a new approach to training, we have taken lots of care. So, for example, I lead a training initiative which is called TASK, the Telangana Academy of Skills and Knowledge. You'll be surprised to know that we have no training partners. All the trainings are done in-house by us. And we have a very innovative concept of involving the industry in this training initiative through a very unique concept called professors of practice. Amongst the industry also, we recognize lots of very senior people, lots of extremely skilled people who have a flair for training. And we offer them this responsibility. Of course, it's an honorary responsibility, which we call as professors of practice, in which they are asked to design training programs, teach the trainers under a TOT model, have an oversight on the quality of delivery, and eventually monitor the training outcomes, etc. But all this is done without any training partners. It's done completely in-house. I still feel that I'm not generalizing to say that every training partner is a scamster or so on and so forth, but it is possible to have equally good outcomes by designing programs in which the industry and the government partner directly, and we focus on the candidates who are really having that kind of an aptitude for an organized sector job. and then leave the placement to the belief that if he is adequately trained, there will be takers for them. I'll just use one example to substantiate how we do this kind of a thing. Those of you who use a Samsung phone, some of you would be aware that Samsung uses an operating system in that phone which is called Tizen, Tizen. It's a very proprietary kind of thing. Only Samsung uses it, so Samsung and its developers use it. Now, Telangana is the only state in the country today where 28 colleges are officially teaching Tizen as a part of their curriculum. I mean, of course, it's not a part of their main curriculum, but it's an add-on component which students are voluntarily offered to take besides what they are studying as a part of the curriculum. So this entire module of 40 hours of Tizen training has been designed by the technical team, the tech team of Samsung. They have trained the faculty of these 28 colleges and the students of these 28 colleges. After they complete this 40 hours module, they are evaluated by Samsung with no promise of any job. I mean, if you require them, they are available. If you don't need them, they get on with their lives. So this kind of a different approach to training, where the focus is just on skill building, with high quality focus, with direct partnership of the industry. And Telangana perhaps is the only state in the country where we assure any company which is investing in the state that we will find skilled people for them. We will create skilled people for them completely at our cost. So, for instance, some of you would be aware that Apple has chosen to set up their Maps division in Hyderabad. After scouting 28 countries across the world, 28 cities across the world, they eventually zeroed on to Hyderabad. Of course, no Indian city could, and so Maps division requires people with high levels of GIS proficiency. Now, there is no city in India today which can straight away say that I will give 5,000 people to you right on day one. And the same is true of Hyderabad. But one of the reasons why they chose to come to Hyderabad was the assurance that the government was giving, that within no time we will give you this pipeline of 5,000 people, all trained very, very competently, very, very rigorously, which will match Apple standards. And we will involve you in this entire training program, designing and implementing this training program. And you will not be required to pay even a single rupee. We will completely fund it by the government. So these are new ways of looking at this whole gamut of skilling. And while the national government, the state governments are showing lots of enthusiasm and support for the Skill India program, some of the pitfalls which were encountered in the past, we ought to be very, very careful of avoiding them. And this is all I wanted to share on this occasion. I'm happy that the forthcoming summit, which will be taking place in Hyderabad and other cities in July, will bring together all the diverse range of stakeholders on a common platform, which itself is a very laudable and a very wonderful initiative. And I look forward to that summit and some really brilliant ideas on how do we as a country and as a state take forward this skills initiative. Thank you very much for inviting me.